Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Build Your Copywriting Business podcast. Hello, friends.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello. As always, I am joined by my fabulous co-host, Kate Sichars. Did I say fabulous? Fabulous.
Either one. I'll take it.
A little bit fabulous sometimes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
Kate Sichars, welcome. Welcome, Kate.
Thanks.
Good to see you. Hello. What a nutball I am. Anyway, what's even more exciting is that Kate and I have the pleasure of being joined by a CCA student, working copywriter, and all-around fabulous person, Audrey Frazier. Hello.
Hi, I'm happy to be here.
Oh, good. We're so excited to have you here.
It's kind of fun. I've been watching these videos and I always find them encouraging. So yeah, happy to be here.
Good. Yes, Nisi, now it's your turn to be on this side of the camera.
Mm-hmm. And if you're not watching and if you're listening, Audrey has a fantastic top on. So
very cute. Very cute. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I know. Really, I didn't dress for YouTube. I dressed for podcast day. Whoopsies. But that's all right. Since Audrey, you're the feature anyway. Yes. You're the important part. Yes. And speaking of which, I know we want to dig into what you're doing now and working copywriting as a side hustle, of course. But let's go all the way back and talk about what got you into copywriting. What is your story there?
Okay, my story. It kind of came as just out of left field. Never even heard about copywriting before until I came across the ads and the videos and started digging in that way. But I was working as an interior designer and I got really ill and had to quit my job. It was just kind of a bumpy road where all of a sudden I couldn't do what I have done for years. And I ended up being at home a lot and had to find a job that could accommodate all of the illness and just something that's more flexible that I can do from home. And so I kind of started digging in and started doing some research, and it was kind of a hard time for me because I've always been a go-getter. I love to work. I know that sounds crazy, but I just loved my job. And, kind of heartbreaking to feel like I couldn't do what I loved anymore. And so I started looking for, okay, well, what can I do from home that I don't have to, constantly be going in when, I was in a lot of pain and things like that. And so I came across your ads and started looking at it. And it took me a couple of weeks to kind of pull the trigger. But I saw all the videos and I knew I liked writing. I just have always, liked writing, and I love sales because obviously that was part of my job before. And so, I just saw the videos and the community that you get through the program is the best. And so it's amazing. And just like, I don't know, it's just so cool. Everybody's so encouraging. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. And so I just tore through the class. I did it really quickly. I started building my website, and all of a sudden I was like, something sparked. Like, I love this. This is so fun. And it was an amazing experience to be able to come from something you love and then feeling like broken, and then like finding something that would fit the lifestyle that I needed and be fulfilling and earn great money and have the flexibility. So I don't regret it. I loved every minute and I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Hey, you could love again. I love it.
Yes. Exactly. Yeah. There's an 80s ballad in there somewhere. It's going to come to me later, but learning to love again. There's something in there, right? Like there's something in there. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So that's kind of how I just got into it. It was more kind of out of a necessity. I needed something from home, needed to be able to make money, and it needed to be flexible enough where, if I was take the 2 weeks off or whatever I needed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So,
So now what does your schedule look like now? I know you're kind of doing it part-time, but what does life look like for you as a copywriter?
When I first started, it was kind of intimidating, kind of getting into everything. And the way that you guys have that program set up, like giving you the milestones, giving you like, okay, you got to get this done first. I literally had it up on my, in my office, and it kind of committed to it. And I was like, she's got it dialed, so I'm just going to follow your program. And that's what I did. And I noticed once I started building my website and started really kind of getting into that, that's when things started kind of rolling a little bit. I think when I finished the program, I got my first job, and the first job paid off the whole class. And then I was like, oh, okay, there's actual work out here. So I started started doing the thing, started pitching people, and literally had the income that I wanted within like the first month or two, really. And what the most shocking thing was for me was how much work there was out there. There is a lot of work out there. And so I actually had more work than what I even wanted or could do. And so it was really encouraging to be like, oh my gosh, and it was so fun. The people I got to meet was just amazing. I think my first job was I was doing the copy for our website. And then I was like, okay, I know how to do this because I did this in my class. So I built my own website, and so I ended up starting doing that. And then I started like researching, okay, what did I do before? And I started digging in. Okay, well, now I was an interior designer. So what kind of copywriting is around that?
Yeah.
And I found my niche with real estate agents. And apparently they need a bunch of copies. And it's everywhere. Like everybody needs copy. So I started pitching real estate agents and kind of moved away from doing the website copy and things like that, and just found just a plug and play. I would just burn through them, and they would send me a job here and there. They were small little ones, and I could charge a good amount, and they were happy to do it. And I all of a sudden had more work than I could keep up with. And it would have easily, if I wanted to keep going with it, I could have easily replaced my income as an interior designer. So
yeah,
that's
incredible.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And for those listening or watching who maybe haven't heard us talk about choosing niches or that kind of thing, as a copywriter, and this is for everyone listening, you absolutely don't have to do that. You can keep it broad, you can keep it varied, but also if you, and also too, you don't have to choose it like before you get into the business, but as you start getting work, if you find yourself naturally gravitating towards something, then great, lean into it. We're all working through our own careers, but we never want choosing a niche to keep anyone from getting into the work. But at the same time too, Audrey, like you're like, you know what, this is calling to me. I'm loving this. And who knows, maybe that will be something that you continue to do, or maybe you'll head in a different direction. But I really love how you approached that.
Yeah. And we'll link to the 2 episodes that we have on niches in the show notes. So if you're interested in listening to those, and you can pick up the conversation.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot more work out there than I had envisioned. And it was really just about pitching, and being brave enough to do that. And I feel like I've learned so much that even though this was kind of a stepping stone for me, and it kind of is a side hustle that I'm doing, still it translates to all different. I feel like it bettered my career. You know what I mean? Like it just enriched my career that I have now and everything, but I still do this. I still do copywriting as a side hustle, and now I'm all like, it was great. But yeah. As for the niche, I mean, I think it was surprising how much, because you all of a sudden become aware of of copy everywhere, copy in the wild. That was one of the funnest things. Finding copy in the wild, because I literally notice signs now. I notice what's on the drinks, or the Amazon boxes and all that stuff. Like Yeah, it was great, but I found my niche. I did get down a rabbit hole at one point where I would kind of caution people away from that, where I had a lot of clients being like, okay, well, do you do social media too? And kind of that's a trap. Like I started doing it a little bit, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm in the weeds here. And then all of a sudden I had to pull back, and I'm like, nope, I'm a copywriter. That's what I do. I do words, not pictures, not. And I think if you were working with a social media expert, it would have been great. But yeah, so I went down a little rabbit trail and then pulled back, and all of a sudden I felt like I got when you can get more streamlined. And for me, it was about finding the niche. I mean, for other people, I wouldn't. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to. And certainly I did all kinds of weird projects where I was when I did a script for a commercial. I did all kinds of fun stuff, it was like this random things that just landed in my lap.
Right. All kinds of fun opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious in terms of balancing, work with, because you have another job, right? In addition to.
Yes, I do now. Yes, I do now. Yeah.
So
I didn't at the time. It was all copywriting for a good amount of time, but I do now.
And I know other people are in that same situation, whether they're looking to leave their current job or they're just doing copywriting as a side hustle like you. What advice do you have in terms of balancing both of those things?
So because I have repeat customers, it's a lot easier. So that way, if like I know, hey, I've got a day here that I'm slow, and I could do some copy work, then I would go and pitch those people and be like, hey, I've got some time. And I think getting those repeat customers is really important when you're trying to balance both, because then you're not out like trying to fish for the work, and you just know you have your pool of people that you can pitch over and over and over again. And so that helps with the balancing. And then sometimes they call me, hey, I've got work. Can you do this? And then and it's neat because then I can either say yes or no, where I have time or I don't.
I love that you brought that up, because I think it's so easy for us to forget to repitch our current or past clients, when it really is the easiest. People who already love you, who already love what you do and know that you do a fantastic job. But I think it's very easy to get caught up on, I have to pitch to get the next client and the next client, when you have potentially a whole lot of work just waiting for you with one client. But sometimes we need to be the one to suggest the projects, give them an idea for a project. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, by word of mouth too. I mean, for me, the niche was with the real estate agents, and they all know each other, and they have their own Facebook groups and stuff like that. And so I had asked one realtor, hey, can you promote my business on your Facebook website? And she was like, absolutely. I would love for you to do that, as long as you don't get too busy where you can't do my work. So it's like, all right, I'll give you priority. So she posted my business link on their Facebook, and it was just about networking. And then once I got my pool of clients, then I kind of kept just repitching them, and it just got way easier. Like once you have your pool of people, and like I said, I had way more work than I even wanted to, which blew my mind. I was like, this could be a full-time gig. I could hire an assistant.
Yes,
there is definitely work out there. So I would say if you're on the fence, just go ahead and do it. Because literally it was the first job I got paid off the course. And there's very few things I feel like in life where you just like, you take a plunge and then it pays off with so much. It was so worth it for me. I've never had something pay off that quickly. You know what I mean? Normally you have to give and give. And they always say you start your own business and 2 years later, you might make money. That was not the case with copywriting. It was, yeah. And then I felt very prepared after the course too. Like I just did the program. I did the thing exactly the way you said it would. And it prepared me perfectly. It was great. Now, actually, you're the benchmark for any other class I take. I'm like, well, it wasn't as good as that one. So you did well. Yeah, it was really good.
I was going to say, good for you though, for you did the work, which I don't want to get lost in all of this. Like, it happened fast because you dove in and you followed the steps. So good for you for taking it on head on,
Yeah. Did you have because quite frankly, that can be what trips up some people is they get in and they start doing it for a little bit. And then did you have a plan or a system for how you were going to get through it?
Yeah, I made the timeline. And I can't remember if you told us to do that or not, but I literally had a calendar out where I said, I'm going to do this unit and this unit on this day. And then, and I scheduled the breaks in there because I am kind of an all or nothing person. Yeah. So I didn't want to burn myself out. So I did schedule the breaks. And then I also, gave myself a little rewards too, because I think a lot of times we want to push ourselves so hard and then forget to be like, hey, you did a good job. You did good, And so like to be like, okay, if I get through these 3 units, I'm going to, I don't know, give myself a little reward, but even if it's small, like, I'll get to take a 2-hour bubble bath or something, so it doesn't, but yeah, so I gave myself little rewards and I had a calendar and I made it through. And actually after the first couple of units, it's not as intimidating. And I also would say the website thing, I know some people they get overwhelmed with the website thing. But it is such a good learning experience. And you have to think of it as, okay, you're building your skills. It's just one more skill that you can add to, it's just one more skill you can add to your career and you don't lose that. Like you never lose that. Okay. Now I can build a website. Well, guess what? You can take that with you wherever you go. So yeah, it worked well.
Yeah. And I have to
that
say,
mindset.
Yeah, exactly. And thank goodness the website software out there is so good now that it's like drag and drop. When I think back to building my first website, it was like, I think I like
WordPress was the option.
WordPress. Yes. I remember having to like type in all the codes to
be like, how do I do it
now?
Yeah.
Nothing makes you feel like really a tech genius though. Like, I am awesome. I am now a web developer.
Earned it.
Not actually, but yeah.
Oh, it is so true. But it just kind of give you a little boost of confidence. Like, oh, wow, I can actually do this. And I think not complicating it is the thing too. Just keep it simple. Like, really, you don't need that much. They're gonna call you, or they're gonna do a little Calendly thing. So yeah, I would not make it too complicated. You can always add to it later, but keep it simple and keep the copy phenomenal.
Yes.
And allow your voice to kind of come through and to not give up. I mean, I think I think you get better at the more you write, you get better at it. You know what I mean? So whether you're starting from ground zero or you've been doing it for many years, I feel like we're all still learning. We're all trying to get better and everything else. And I feel like I can appreciate other people's copy, just as much now as I did back then,
Yeah.
So
such good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny how few people know what copywriting is.
Isn't it?
I went to the doctor and somebody asked me, what do you do for work? I'm like, I'm a copywriter. And they're like, did you ever take a course for that? And I was like, yes, I did. And he asked me something that made it sound like he thought I was like in a government office, like
the legal copyright. Yes, exactly.
Legal copywriter.
Yeah.
It was surprising how many times I had to explain that to people. Like, okay, this is what I do, but
is amazing. And I find myself, I can't, it could just be the books I'm reading, but it's not, it's books about, and people are like, oh, and this is, so-and-so who's working as a copywriter. I'm like, it's here in this book. And, Mad Men, that was all they were. I know I'm still kind of amazed that it's still such a well-kept secret for writers. Just amazing.
Yes, it really is. But yeah, I love writing. I will probably continue to do it. And it actually has helped even in my job now, it helps me now, and I'll probably still do it. Yeah. It's just part of my skill set now. And guess what? I can do this. So yeah, I would just say if you're on the fence, or if you're struggling, or if you're even in a slump of where you feel like you can't get through the course, or you feel like you don't have enough work, I would tell you there's just no substitute for hustle. You know, you just you go out there and you hustle until you kind of get a breakthrough. And so, you know, that's what I would tell them.
Yeah.
But
and
get the course. Get the course.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so thrilled. And I just wanted to add on to that too. Yeah, if people are listening, lean into the community too, right? If you're losing momentum, or which will happen, or you're starting to self-doubt, exactly. Lean into the community, get in the Facebook group, hop on a call, listen, even just listening to episodes like these, just to kind of re-motivate you, get you going.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the community is great. I couldn't have done it without the community. It's fun. You get to know people on the Facebook group, and it's always fun to see other people's progress and their wins and their success stories. And it kind of just, I would dive into that. And I remember when I first started too, I was like, I'm going to stay motivated. Oh, actually, you told me motivation is the lie. It's that gets you. So that one stuck. I was like, you were so right with that. I was like, I had it on a little sign up on my office thing. Like, it's not motivation that brings you success. It's the commitment that does. So yeah, just hustle until you get a breakthrough and lean into the community. I think I checked on the community like every day, like, okay, you know, because it just helps.
Yeah, it really does. It's an amazing group of people. Amazing.
Really
Audrey, this was fantastic. Thank you so much for this. Now, if someone is now, I know that your schedule is actually already pretty much full. I was going to say, do you want us to tell people where they can find you, or do we want to keep it a mystery because you're already full of work?
I have too much work right now, and so I deactivated it. Yeah, I mean, I still have my website, and I will activate it again if I ever need to go full time. But now I'm doing a lot of design work from home and stuff like that.
It's a pretty good problem to have, to be so full of work that you can't even share your portfolio site, because
I love it.
You know,
unavailable.
I think it's actually encouraging. I think I hope it's encouraging for people to hear that, because I remember watching these episodes and being like, I really needed the work at the time, to go from I was making over 6 figures, and then all of a sudden I had 0, and it just was stressful. And to know that it's actually there's a lot of work out there, and to have hope for that. Actually, if you're willing to work for it, you can get it. You don't need to add that part, but
I think that's such good advice, though. Yeah.
But
I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for having me.
My goodness, thank you for being here.
I appreciate it. It's so cool to be able to talk to you both, because you're like famous.
No, but thank you.
And listen to these episodes for how long? And it's cool to get to know you both.
Well, the pleasure is entirely ours. Absolutely. Yes. So thank you so much for giving up time in your busy day to sit down with us and to tell us your story and to inspire all of the other students and copywriters out there. We really,
such good advice,
really appreciate it. Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for having me. And I hope people find it encouraging. I did. Honestly, I can't even tell you how much I appreciated the class. I'm not even just saying that. Like, it was really amazing. To have something that like enriched my life that much, and really just it wasn't even a stepping stone, it was a springboard, for my career. So it was great. It was really great. Like I said,
thank you.
Now it's the benchmark for everything.
Thank you. Well, truly, thank you for saying that. I can't even tell you how much that means to us to hear it. So thank you. Thank you.
You guys are doing a great job. Great job. I guess I'll be hearing you soon. I'll listen to your podcast.
We'll see you in the group. Exactly.
See you in the group. Exactly. All right.
Amazing. And so with that, we will catch everybody in the next episode. Like what you heard? Hit subscribe so you never miss a video. And if you're ready to take the first step toward becoming a copywriter yourself, sign up for a free video training right here.